What's up, guys? As you've guessed already, your boy's back. And you're probably wondering, where's my boy's face at? Well, basically, I'm having trouble finding a good application to show my face and a full screen on my Mac here. So we're just gonna. I'm not very tech savvy, and I mean I am in some ways, but in other ways I'm not. I'm having trouble finding a good tool to use for that. If you know any good tools, drop me a comment down there. Let your boy know all about it because your boy needs to learn some things about that. Anyways, speaking of learning, I'm here to help you learn about Palossand. Let's learn about this boy. First of all, I'm just going to go ahead and let you know I'm only covering doubles here. I think I'll probably do that for most of my videos in the future. Maybe occasionally I'll do one on singles, but I don't know enough about singles to honestly give you a good idea of what's going on about a singles battle. So we're going to focus on doubles. Anyways, first thing we notice, we're going to look at his base stats. So first thing you notice about his base stats, he has a very low speed, which is good and bad. He obviously operates very well in Trick Room, but that's not really how we're going to use him or how we're going to really talk about him much. But you can build a Trick Room team around him. Anyways, so base 35 speed, very low, good for Trick Room. What stands out is his ability more than anything, but we'll get to that in a second. So we see he has a pretty decent special attack stat. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, he's right there with Venusaur at 100. So, I mean, he can deal out damage, even without weakness policy sets. I mean, you can even run Life Orb set with this thing, and it can put out some damage. His defense is 110, which is exceptional, and his special defense is a little lacking, and his HP stat pretty standard level there. But I'll get more on the base stats coming with you here once we get to some of the builds that I have already. So let's go ahead and jump over to Cerebi. And if you don't know already, Pikalytics, Cerebi, and Showdown are three great resources for Pokemon VGC and just Pokemon in general. So we're going to jump over to Cerebi here. And this is one of the things that's better about Cerebi is you can see all your type matchups. I'll go ahead and point out the weaknesses being Dark, Ghost, Ice, and Grass, and Water. So these aren't ideal weaknesses to have, okay? So you have Tyranitar, which is pretty prominent, being a Dark Stab, but that is a physical attack. You mainly are going to worry about special attacks against Palossand because his physical defense, his ability Water Compaction. Let's start there. So if you don't already know, it increases by 2 stages every time you're hit by a water move. We're pairing this thing with Excelgor, with Water Shuriken, and you're basically going to max out your defense turn 1, given they don't have a Follow Me user and Follow Me and throw the whole thing off. But Palossand can be used in other ways as well. He doesn't have to just weakness policy defense up to be good. We're going to talk about him a lot in this video in different ways you can use him. So obviously he has a lot of big metal weaknesses, Ghost and Dark. Grass, obviously, Rillaboom, big thing. Ice, not as much, and Water is pretty big. But those are 4 or 5 pretty big weaknesses. But if you look at it, all of them except for Water mostly come from the physical side of damage. So your Water Compaction, when you max out your defense, you're actually not taking much damage. I literally took a max Ghost from a physical Dragapult, and it did like maybe 20% at max defense. So he's taking times 2 from that, so just think about that. This boy is a tank. And but the one thing I want to point out the most is his immunities. So he has an immunity to Fighting, Electric, and Normal. There's 3 immunities. And he also takes 0.25 from Poison, 0.5 from Bug, and from Rock. So basically he's a great pivot Pokemon. This basically lets you know, okay, so if you're going against something and you're really fearing the max Knuckle, right? Or the max Lightning, or the max strike, which is the normal max move. You can actually bait them into doing those moves and swap Palossand in, and he will take no damage at all. He has 3 complete immunities. That's pretty incredible to have. With Porygon Z being as big as it is right now, max striking everything, Palossand can actually be an extremely viable pivot option. He's not just a in-your-face attacker. He can pivot. And in your Porygon Z matchup, that's really what he's going to be doing, considering he is not a special wall at all. I mean, he takes a lot of damage from special attacks. So, and you can also turn into a max Rockfall and take that really well. Or a max Flutterby, which isn't as common and it's harder to predict, but you can actually switch into those as well. And a max Poison, maybe against a Venusaur or something like that, which is really one of the only times you ever see that come out. So, great pivot option. Not the most ideal weaknesses, but 3 immunities is incredible. And some other pretty decent resistances. So, he comes with that. So let's go ahead and move on to some of the builds I have for him. So we're going to start with the most standard thing you'll probably see is the weakness policy build. And like I said, this generally comes with Excelgor. If you haven't already noticed, I'm sure you've seen this played, where he goes Water Shuriken into Palossand, and if you get at least 3 hits off, which is pretty common, you have max defense turn 1. Given Follow Me and Rage Powder are options that can throw this off. Or even Fake Out is another thing that can throw this setup off. But you don't have to rely on this setup. I'm just saying that this is just one way you can play him. So basically what we have here is if you look right here, we have 252 in special defense, 252 attack, and 4 defense. Instead of putting the 4 defense in HP, I put it in defense because you are actually scaling your defense more. So it's more helpful to be in the defense spot than the HP spot. And we're putting 252 in special defense to make up for his huge weakness there. And when you max him, you can actually go max ground to help boost your special defense even more. So this thing can actually become quite difficult to remove if they have nothing to deal with it. So after 1 max Earth, or Max Quake, I'm sorry, your opponent could be in a lot of trouble if you get one of those off in your max defense plus 1 special defense with max. We're also natured to where we have plus special defense as well, which actually makes sure if you max out special defense, it actually is a greater number than your defense by like 5 or 6 points. I'm not sure exactly which one. We can look. I think I have it right here. So you can see right here, your stat is actually 139 to your defense being 131 if you max out your special defense and give it a positive nature for that. So this is a pretty standard set. Shadow Ball. You can actually go. What's the Earth move called? The other one. Earth Power instead of Scorching Sands. If you want a little bit more base power on your normal move. But Scorching Sands is a little better because you actually get the burn with it. I mean, you can get the burn. You have a good chance with it. And Sludge Bomb is an optional move. This slot here can either be covered by Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, your grass move. You can even move it with Psychic. Or you can put something, I don't know if you're trying to do something weird with like Ancient Power. Of course, you would switch Scorching Sands out for that. Or you can just put a good old Protect in there if you want. Which is not a bad idea if you don't plan on maxing it a lot. So, but I just have the what's the poison move again? But I can't even remember the name of it now. But Sludge Bomb. So, geez, what's wrong with me? I can't think with my brain. Sorry, I have a pregnant wife and I do a lot of things for her all the time, and my brain is crazy right now. Pray for your boy. He's got a baby girl on the way. She'll be here any day. So I'm going to try to do as many pre-uploads as possible so that I can keep up with that. But anyways, and Shore Up is basically your recovery move. It's basically like Recover. In short, it's Recover. So you have that. And so this is basically your weakness policy set. You're always teaming with Excelgor. You're having Excelgor on your team to trigger this. So this is basically the standard set. I want to show you a more interesting set, though. We have an AV Palossand here, which obviously takes abuse from the Assault Vest. And you can also pair this with Excelgor as well. We max out in special attack here. And we're also another plus special defense nature here, so that we can get the most out of our Assault Vest. And obviously you have to run all attacks with Assault Vest. So the only other option you really have here is replacing either Sludge Bomb or Giga Drain with Psychic is really your best bet. I mean, I guess you could actually do Energy Ball for a little more damage, but I think Giga Drain is more ideal for the fact that you can get a little recovery out of it too. And being a tanky Pokemon, that's not a bad idea at all. So that's basically, this set's pretty basic. There's not a lot to really absorb here, I guess you could say. It's pretty obvious. Assault Vest, you have to play 4 attacks. The spread's this is pretty much your spread. There's no reason you ever want to max out your defense if you're really trying to abuse your water compaction ability, because you're going to max it out and you're just going to waste a lot of EV points that way. And you really need to make up for your special defense because it's lacking just a bit. So we'll move on. So let me go back to the weakness policy set. This is basically the most ideal set. I mean, it's the most optimal set, I'll say. I did make a fun set here. This is something I haven't tried, but I just got to thinking about it. If you can see how annoying this set is, it could probably even be viable in a singles battle for all I know. But this is Sand Veil. So if you don't know what Sand Veil does, it increases your evasiveness by 1.25. So basically, it makes your opponent's moves 25% less accurate during a sandstorm. So a normal 100% accuracy move is now only basically 80% of the time, 75% of the time hitting you. And if you pair that with Bright Powder, which gives you another 10% accuracy drop, your opponent is probably going to hate you if you have this in a sandstorm. So you can pair this with like Tyranitar or like, Hippowdon or any sand setter of sorts. Your opponent's going to really hate you because they're not going to be able to hit you for nothing. Obviously, I already know what you're going to say. Dynamax moves can't miss. Well, if you wait your opponent's Dynamax out and you can actually defend through it and you have this waiting in the back for them and you can set up sand, I could see this becoming such a nuisance. I mean, think about this. Dynamax is over. Your opponent has 2 Pokemon left. You've sand attacked everything to drop its accuracy even more. And when they manage to finally land a hit, next turn, you just shore up. Woohoo. Now I'm basically just not going to die ever. Obviously, your defense and everything is going to be a little less this time because you don't have the water compaction ability. You're basically just trying to be evasive with this set. Like I said, I haven't tested this out. This one is just pure theory. This is a pure theory set. Which I think this could actually work remarkably well. But I don't know for sure. I may end up trying it out for you guys just so y'all can see it. But I just want to stress the idea right before we're done with this video here about just the amazing pivot abilities you have with this Pokemon. Because everyone just sees it as a upfront weakness policy threat. That's how it's played. Even if you're playing the weakness policy set, you can still play this as a pivot. If you see a lot like Urshifu, for example, and you know he's going to max knuckle you, you can get your Tyranitar out of there, pivot in, take no damage. They waste a whole Dynamax move. You got a free pivot. And maybe next turn they're like, okay, well, I'll just max water him this turn, and you just hit protect. Now they've triggered your weakness policy, and there's just so many things you can do. And they trigger your water compaction. It gets crazy. It can get crazy. This Pokemon is way better than what it's given, I think. I think it was served a big initial threat in the beginning of the meta just because it could get like +8 in stats off of one move because you get +6 in defense, and then +2 in special attack with the weakness policy set. So anyway, guys, I'm going to be having some really fun battles hopefully coming up right after this video. It'll be coming up 2 days after this video. As you know, I upload every 2 days. Maybe in the future, if I can, become a full-time PokeTuber, this thing could become real. I'll go every day. But for now, your boy has to hold a job. Also, your boy's got a baby girl coming. So uploading every 2 days is even, that's a lot even at that. So just pray I can keep on with this going on. I want to give you guys some fun material, and I have a lot of fun doing these videos. So please subscribe, please like, and please comment. And as always, guys, God bless and peace.